tell me something and you say just between us, please know I'm not finna tell a singular soul besides him. Because I'm promising you, that man, I married my best friend. I'ma tell him. Because I don't care if you my mama, my best friend, my cousin, my sister, whoever it may be. If you tell me some shit in confidence, and I'm not supposed to tell nobody else, I'm not, but I'm gonna tell him because he is half of me. So
here we go with this next generation of wives and their husband. He part of me, he half of me. And when you get to be a certain age, I'm talking about those of us that were in our 20s and the 90s, you just look at them, you kind of shake their head and you just say, give them about another 5 years and they'll figure out what we all figured out about them husbands and them being part of you. And now, when she on here on TikTok, if TikTok is still around in another 5-6 years, telling us that we was right, then we're going to show her some mercy, y'all. Because I can guarantee you that your husband don't feel like you half of him, that you his other part. He ain't telling you what his homeboys are doing. He ain't telling you what your friends' husbands or men's is doing, because he's doing it too. And if he's not, he's going to. And I can just tell you that people, well, you don't know. Yeah, we do know. Because if you see something happen over and over and over and over and over again, 9 times out of 10, it is fact. And sister, I feel so sorry for her. I mean, she don't go nowhere. And look at her head. Look at her. Look how she look. Okay. But anyway, I'm just going to say this. While she telling her husband all of her friends' business, that pretty friend that she halfway jealous of because she is child free and wearing cute lipstick and cute clothes and going places and having fun, and she trying to put her down so that her husband will think that she is better. He looking at her thinking, and let me tell you, young sister, and I really hope this gets back to you. I had a friend just like you named Karma. Her name actually was Karma. And she went around and we learned telling her husband all our business. Now here's how we knew she was telling him all our business. I had an issue with my period. I had my period and it was a challenge I had, and I got my whole seats of my new car got ruined because of that. Do you know that I walked into a house party and her husband walked up to me with a bunch of other dudes, other folks' men and other men hanging out going, "Oh, I heard what happened to your car." And they all busted out and started laughing. But your husbands don't care. And after that, I definitely cut her off. Now, here's the funny thing that happened with Karma. Because I'm going to tell y'all, people, when you start messing with people and you start thinking that you all, "Hi, Micah, you got headband," and you think that you different than other women. Honey, that ring and that light skin and that 2B or whatever texture hair with no makeup on. Okay, let me just tell you something. Here's what happened to Karma. Karma got karma because our friend, one of our friends that remained friends with her because I cut her off, that remained friends with her, the one that's a news anchor, didn't have any kids, was riding around with a Porsche and all that. She was the one that we was living through because she would do any and everything she wanted to do, wherever she wanted to do, go sleep with who she wanted to sleep with. Guess what? She now hanging out on that balcony that you talking about, that you hanging out on, because Karma's husband left her for my friend, the former news anchor, and is living in her house. And as a matter of fact, her kids are graduated from college. They have some twins, are graduated from college. Karma not invited to it, but our friend, the one that she was going back talking about how she was doing all this, she now is at the graduation and finished raising Karma's kids. So yes, sister with the wash face, you keep on telling your mama, your sister. Now you betray your own mama for a man. And I tell you what, when he leave you, you gonna be sitting at your mama's house with your head lying in her lap and confiding in her. Do you want her to go back and tell him? So I'm just telling y'all, it's always this generation of women. You know, I talked about it. I remember, see, I brought up a whole bunch of stuff. Hospice care wives, legacy of low achievement. I talked about how your grandfather most likely SA'd your grandmother, the reason why they got 21, 24, 25 kids. And then people start with all this content. And then the new 33 and 43-year-olds. Here y'all come with that same yap, yap, yap about your husbands. And in 5 years, I'm telling y'all, it happens every time. Mark my words. Mark my words. I've had some girlfriends that just in the last 7 years have seen what I was talking about. They run around talking, they had this, and he do this, and don't want to talk to you, don't want to hang out with you. And guess where they at now? Single, but not by choice. So let me just say, you need to watch your mouth. Stop telling your husband everything, because all the things that you telling them about your friend, karma. I'm telling you, men not like us. And while you telling them karma, while you telling all of your friends' business, when you up, like that's to say, we up, my husband don't care. And I'm up telling your business while you changing out your child's pissy diaper. When you lay back down in bed and he put his arm over you, guess who he gonna be thinking about? He gonna be thinking about your friend, the one whose business you're telling him about, the one with the exciting life, and you think that he's looking down upon her, and he's thinking, that's somebody I might be able to take advantage of. But I'm just gonna say, you know what? I can show you better than I can tell you. So I'm just gonna stop right there. And I hope that some more aunties, older women, grandmothers step in here and help to educate y'all, so that we don't have to hear y'all coming back on social media 5-7 years, because a whole lot of y'all have, talking about how you wish that you had known or how you wish that you had listened. If your man don't care nothing about what your friends are doing, then why are you telling them? And let me just add this, the last thing I'm going to say. The next time your girlfriend come to tell you about how how a man laid it down on her, why don't you say, hold on a second, and go get your husband and let him sit down in there with you and let her tell you. And then we'll know whether or not you are betraying your friend by telling them. Your husband ain't our friend. And if y'all are one in the same, then how about this? Instead of telling you our business and our secrets, how about we just bypass you and call your husband and tell him, and then let him come back and tell you? Yeah, like one of my girlfriends says her husband was so cool that he could come over to our house and we had ladies' night out here. He comes setting himself up in there. And then the very first time one of our friends called him, couldn't reach her, and called him to come change a tire, she want to fight my friend. So keep your husbands out of your friend's business, or just don't have no friends.